And we are live. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Friday Live. I hope we're all having a good day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. It's so good to have us here. Thank you all for joining. Today, we're just going to be quickly speaking on some of the things that we have received. I and my team, we have received a couple of messages from different people that are within the Isaac Works community. A lot of people have shared feedback, people have shared their challenges. And, we just thought it would be great if we all, just speak about some things. So please, if you know someone who's in the job market or who's trying to find a new role, or someone who just wants to upskill, gain a couple of knowledge things, just new knowledge. We can't learn too much, right? But if you know someone who wants to learn and who is willing to be a part of you know Isaac Works, please send them the link, let them join. We're going to be talking today about a beautiful a topic that's very close to my heart, and I feel like this is going to help us you know go to the next level. So please, if you've gotten a job with Isaac Works, if you've joined the community, if you haven't found any role, please, if you haven't found any role, always send a DM to the admins of the group. Just explain the roles you are looking out for. When you explain the roles that you are looking out for, it can help in the curating process, so that we then curate what we know will be valuable to you. So please feel free, if you know you have been trying to you've applied, you haven't gotten feedback, always share. It is that information you share with us that allows us to prepare and come up with new roles, ask our HR recruiters, the companies that we also work with. We can also, speak to them and say, hey, people within this sector are looking for jobs and they haven't found. So please feel free to always give us feedback. Feedback is very important to us. So I just want to quickly send the link to other groups so that everybody can be a part of this. Please share the link, share the link. I just have two more groups to share this with, and we can kick off. So please, if you've gotten a job, you can just share in the comments. If Isaac Works helps you get a job, share in the comments. It will help and encourage those that don't that have not gotten um any role yet. So first, we want to warmly welcome everybody again. Just give me a second. Let me just share to our community is growing by the grace of God. It's growing, and I try to we try to do our best to see that we don't just share, give and share rules, but we also prepare people for the reality that we continue to find in the market. Because every time, right, in this recruitment space, we see a lot of things. And some of the things we find is a lot of people that want these jobs, some people are not ready for the roles that they desire. The money that we want to earn, a lot of us are not ready to earn those amounts of money. And not because the it's not possible. That's not the idea. It's not that getting the money you want is not possible. That's not what it is. It's that majority of us are not ready to do the work. Some of us don't have the skills. Some people don't have the charisma to carry the role that they want. Right. So what then happens is, when they don't feel like they are good enough for the role, right? They don't feel like they can do it. And when you place those kinds of people in the roles that they are not confident in, what happens is they have what we call the imposter syndrome. That continues to make them feel like they will never be good enough. So no matter what is brought their way, they will continue to still feel like they are not good enough for that position. So part of the what we're going to be discussing today is just to help us understand that in this space of continuing to apply for jobs, checking out what is available there, it's important for us to have the confidence to match it. It's important for us to be skilled enough to match what we desire. Wanting the role that pays 2 million, $5,000, 7 million a month, $10,000 a month. Those roles don't just fall on your lap because you can type on a computer. A lot of things goes in. A lot of things goes in. When the job you are in now, the next job you need, it is not what you have now that will get you what you need. You have to go up. You have to, it's like baking a cake. You have to add, for that cake to stand out, you have to add quality ingredients. So for you to stand out, for your CV to stand out, for you to say you want to earn the 750K a month, 1 million naira a month, 3 million, 2 million, do you have what it takes? Because if you don't have what it takes and you continue to apply, what happens is the rejection continues to follow. You continue to hear things like, oh, sorry, we regret to give you this feedback. We are sorry you do not match our needs. We have gone ahead with another candidate. It is very important. It is very important. And today, I think we'll just go right into it. And our topic for today is the confidence compass. Building inner strength for career and workplace success. What is a compass? I know some of us know what a compass is, but I think I was inspired by my water bottle, and my water bottle has a compass. If you look closely, a compass is something that directs, it's a tool of direction. You can see it shakes, it's small, but there are different kinds. They're big. You can Google what a compass is. Imagine a young bird standing at the edge of his nest. The sky is wide, but the wings feel untested. That's exactly how many of us feel when we are stepping into job applications. Tonight, my goal is to show you how to flap and how to soar. Soar high where you are clearly seen for the exceptional work that you do. Now, let me give you a brief story. There was a time in my career where I got a remote job with a company in the United States of America. And they needed me to do some work for them. I don't want to go into all the job details, but I would share some of the things that happened. For that role, I needed to send the kind of computer that I use, share my computer internet speed, share how much of electricity I have daily, because the founder of the business understood the issues that come with recruiting from Nigeria. And they did understand that sometimes they might not have, electricity is one of the big challenges. So they did ask me what would be the hours that I would have electricity. So I told them. So they because they note all of those things down. For those of us that want remote jobs, please, it's not easy. So I just want to share some of my learnings. So this role, they asked me all of the things. I shared the information. We did the interview. I passed. And then I was given my offer letter and I started. First week, I'm going to be very, very transparent. First week, I struggled. Do you know why I struggled? Time zone. The company was in New York, right? They have, I think it's a 7 hour time zone difference. So when it is 7 a.m. in Nigeria, it's midnight there. When it is let's say 3-4 p.m. Nigerian time, that's morning for them. So I'm supposed to start work at 3-4 o'clock, let's just say 3 p.m. and work till 11 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just say it was a lot. Now, 3 p.m. is Nigerian time. You're winding down. That's when work is winding down. That's when you're supposed to be getting ready to go home, make dinner, go to bed. That's when my day is starting actively. and you're going in and out of meetings, and the Zoom calls, the meetings, you have to be like, your video has to be turned on. The video has to be turned on, all the things, everything is going on simultaneously. They don't want to hear that, oh, sorry, NEPA took lights, sorry, NEPA. There was no electricity, your generator did not work, something went wrong. You can't make those excuses. You turn on your camera has to be lit because they are paying you, right? Top dollar. Again, these are for those that want remote dollar, euro, pounds jobs. My question, do you have the aesthetic to match this role that you desire? Do you have high speed internet? Do you have quality lighting that will not be showing you when you come on camera? Your background will not be dark and it will look like where you are, you're struggling to see. Do you have a good working and sitting environment where you can sit down on your desk for 4 hours at a stretch before you take a break? Right? These were the challenges that I was facing at the time. So, first week goes by, I was managing, trying to sort out my, trying to balance out, sitting with the, what's it called now? Trying to balance out the time zone, trying to be present, learning the new tools. And, when you work remotely, you find that you don't use paper and pen, you don't submit any file. Everything you do is with your laptop. Everything you do, there's a software. So most times you're navigating 4 to 5 softwares simultaneously, different Slack things, Google, everything is just beeping, and you have to keep track of everything. You must not drop the ball. So follow me on this story that I'm sharing. Second week, so first week, I didn't really give any much outputs. It was, they would understand that, okay, first week, you're trying to get a hang of things, meeting people. So they'll cut you some slack. Second week, my task was on. I was giving my job description, KPI set, everything, and I needed to start to deliver at second week. Guys, living in Nigeria with the realities of our electricity, with the reality of setting up your workspace, I realized that the discipline that comes with remote work, I needed to build. Third week, my manager at the time was already asking me, what's the deliverable on A? What's the deliverable on B? What's the deliverable on C? How have you spoken to this person? Remember, this company I'm speaking with, they had offices in Lagos, in New York, in Asia. Those time zones are different. And the people that they need you to speak to, you can't go and say, oh, sir, sorry, because it's Asia, for lack of precisely China, because it's Shenzhen in China, I cannot, the time zone is 10 hours. I've been 9 to 10 hours, right? When I called, she didn't pick, so I slept. And then you can't give that excuse. So the reality of remote work is that you cannot make excuses. So that $2,000 you're looking for, $4,000, $5,000, you cannot make excuses. You can't, even if the excuse is valid that you are in Nigeria and your time zone does not align, you cannot share that excuse. Because when you signed that job, when you said you can do that work, you agreed to show up. You agreed that you will do what you say you will do. You signed the dotted lines. You shared your account number so that you get the money. But when you shared that, you also needed to do the work. By the fourth week, I was drowning because I couldn't navigate New York time zone plus Shenzhen time zone plus my time zone in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm keeping quiet because I want to share what now happened. My first KPI was shared. We had the review. And by the time the review was done, I already knew my fate. And remember that these companies are startups, yeah? They get funding from investors. They have to defend what they are spending this money on. They cannot just come and give just faff around, tell stories, just call anything and move on. Nobody will listen to that. They couldn't account. The salary I was going to be paid could not, there was no work to justify it. And sadly, I was let go. That was my shortest time in any job employment. I was there for 3 weeks. By the fourth week, I was let go. Yeah, I was let go. So it wasn't the fourth week, second month, fourth week of the second month, I was let go. Because they do the KPI reviews monthly. And when the KPI review is done, it determines what you will do the next month. So by the second month, I was not meeting up. And the biggest blocker for me was the connection with China that I could not meet up with, because when China was awake, we were sleeping in Lagos. So if I were to join the two, that means I will not sleep. I will do New York into 11 p.m., continue China up until the next day. What am I going? I could not. There was no way I could do it. There was no way I could do it. This was in 2024, early 2024, I think. Yeah, or early 2024. I couldn't do it. I don't remember the dates. I'll check and verify it so that I don't give a false report. But what I learned in that season is the thing that I say that I want, am I ready for it? The greatness that I say that I want, the money that I say that I want, do I have the work ethic to back this desire that I want? Because a lot of us in Isaac Works, I know many of us are looking for the dollar. Is that dollar that we want? Anything we're posting that has to do with Naira, nobody's interested. But when we post the dollar, the euro, and the pounds, you see the boss, they are saying, please, ma, I'm trying to apply. They ask for this feedback. Everybody's sharing feedback. And I'm like, I see. But when we post the 1 point something million for Naira, people don't really engage. Like, maybe it's because it's Naira, you know. But can we do the work that is required? Do we have the infrastructure to allow us to do this work? I'm going to bring psychology into this because I don't want to just come here and just tell us, hey, put in your best, focus, have grit, can do attitude, never give up, and the sky's your limit. No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way. I had all those things, but there was also a reality that I had. And the reality was that I couldn't do the work because I didn't have some of the skills that were required. I didn't have the infrastructure that would allow me deliver excellently on that job to then require me to get the money that I desire. So you see the compass, that bottle I showed you when I showed you the little compass? I want to ask you a question. Do you have a confidence compass? That is, no matter what you face, something points you back to the beginning. Imagine your confidence is a compass, right? A compass doesn't change the terrain. If I'm lost in the thick of the forest and I have a compass, having a compass doesn't take me away from that situation. It doesn't take me away from the mountains, the rivers, the storms, the wild animals. They're all still there. But what the compass does is that it gives me orientation, it gives me stability, it directs me. Without it, I would just be wandering, maybe in circles. But with a compass, right, I have a picture that points east. Why east, you would ask? Because the sun does rise in the east. And that's where light breaks darkness. The compass is a guide that leads me to that thing that I say that I want. The compass is what leads you that when you're faced with difficult situations, for example, you've applied to 20 jobs last month, you didn't get any feedback. You got feedback. You applied to 20 jobs. You got 2 feedback. You attended the interview and nothing was said. That compass, this compass we are talking about, right? That's this confidence compass is what allows you to not give up on this process. To say, okay, I have applied. I'm not getting the job I want. Or I got the job I want, but the offer was not what I wanted. Where is your compass pointing at? Is it pointing towards light or darkness? Another thing I want us to talk about today is when we face that east, right? And trust me, people's compass can point anywhere. For this in this class, we're choosing the east. When your compass faces east, right? That is points you at the beginning. So you apply for a job, maybe 20 jobs. You get a rejection. Where do you go and reset? Do you reset and by telling yourself? Remember last class we had, right? Where we spoke on when you get a no, what do you do with that? Does your compass point you on rejection? Do you start feeling like, I'm not good enough? Nobody likes me. Woe is them. Don't say woe is you. Oh, this company, they've never liked me. I've always known. The way the HR or the person that interviewed me, the way she was looking at me that day, I knew that the person did not like me. You've gone to you start to you start to talk negatively to yourself, right? As though you are not worthy of greatness, right? In our last class, we spoke about handling rejections. When someone rejects you, get that offer and they say no. So today we are continuing to say, if they say no, how do you go back to reset? Right? Last week we talked about the rest principle as well, right? All the things. So if you don't catch, please go back and watch the video of last week. Your compass, when your compass is set to east, right? You're saying that you will rise again, regardless of the rejections, because a lot of people are applying and they are not getting the desired response and they are feeling defeated. So I'm here to encourage you, say you cannot be defeated. They say in the Nigerian palace, they say, now who give up, now lose. That's what they say in Worry. If you give up, you are the one that lost. Because the system will go, whether you are ready or not. The global system continues to work. It's like a manufacturing machine that doesn't stop. COVID tried to put a stop, but COVID even couldn't put a stop. Because even with the lockdown, were told to work from home. People were still working. Work was still going on. The world does not stop. You need a confidence compass to direct you so that regardless of the situation, even with your current job that you want to leave, with inflation, your salary is not matching with your lifestyle. The cost of goods in the market is not matching with your pay. You need some confidence compass that points east, that continues to reassure you that the sun continues to shine, because daily the sun must shine. If the sun does not shine, that means there's an eclipse. The sun must rise in the east. Now, I want to talk about something. I found a theory. It's called the social meter theory. It was propounded by Buckminster and Leary. And this social meter theory, again, let me rephrase. Social meter theory by Buckminster and Leary. They propounded this theory. It's a theory of self-esteem, and it teaches us how self-esteem works. It says that when our gauge feels empty, it is not just because of what we face. Our applications, when they get ignored, we feel empty. When our bosses are not treating us the way they should treat us, we feel empty. When things are not going the way we should work, the way it should go, when our salary is not matching our lifestyles, some of us feel empty. True confidence must be rooted in what is more than that. That is what this social meter theory teaches us. It's a framework that teaches us that our individual selves of value and belonging is influenced in the workplace. Because whether we like it or not, all of us here, we have something that we do. If you don't work, that means you live with your family, you are influenced by your home. Both employees and job applicants, right? They are we're constantly in this performance space where we're either performing, to get recognized, appraised, and approved, applauded, and paid higher, or we are engaging with our team, seeing how people can make better career choices, build resilience, and all that, all of that. Today, the social meter theory is very important for us to apply in what we do. Your work cannot just be, you're not applying, money cannot be the only motivation for you when you're applying for jobs. If not, you will stay where you are when you get those rejections. This social media theory suggests that the core driver for those that are in employment should not just be the work, but how does it affect our social standing in our society? Are you only motivated by the task and the project that leads to HR recognizing you and giving you an award, appreciating you, you getting respect from your leaders within your team? All those things are great and they all impact your social meter. So every time that you are considering any job application, anything you want to do, remember the why that you are going there. Is it just for money? Is it just for recognition? Is it that you heard that people that do XYZ numbers, they give them something, that's why you're going there? Is that the why? Is that your only why? Another thing that we need to understand is, what is our effort? Like, what do you bring? I'm going to use this because this is a popular lingo in culture now. It's what do you bring to the table? What is the drive? What is your driver for your discretionary effort? What effort are you bringing? What is the value that you are bringing to your team? Because when an employee feels highly valued by their team members, right, the organization has high social meter. And then when that employee is feeling like, oh my God, they cannot do what they're doing, the social meter goes down. Another thing I'd also want to share is, whenever you have, and I'm saying this again, whenever you have an interview, you finish the process, please always ask for feedback. The reason I want us to continue to ask for feedback is because that feedback is a social cue that allows you not just information about your performance, but a direct signal to the value that you would have brought to that organization. So that in the next place you go to apply, you can now check yourself and say, what value will I bring? For example, if you finish an interview process, even when you get the job, still ask for feedback. You know why? That feedback, whether positive or negative, no, let me focus on positive first. If you get a positive feedback, let's say you apply, you get a job, ask those that interviewed you, what made you choose me? Send them an email. Why did I qualify? Because that will be an indicator to what you will do when you get that job. What will be the contributions that you will do that will impact the social meter within the organization? Then if you get a no, ask for feedback, because that feedback, right, will help you know how to prepare for your next job interview. Now, remember, as you are seeking this feedback, depending on how many companies that you interviewed with, the feedback can be a lot. So you also want to prepare yourself and stay in a place of balance. What do I mean? When negative feedback comes, right? Like when someone says, hey, you're not doing this thing well, you should do it better. Hey, when you came on the call, you didn't seem confident. You didn't seem like you know what you were saying. We didn't feel confident that your values aligned with us. When they give you all of those feedback, please, like we said in the last video, don't carry it and say that that's who you are. That is not who you are. Feedback, right, is the person's perception of what you have done based on all that they have, what they know about you at the time that they encountered you. And if it is you, because again, I noticed that Isaac Works has all kinds of people. So if you are the person, the leader that's giving feedback to an applicant, please use the feedback sandwich method. Positive and negative, and then positive. Because again, these people, you have only encountered them once, so you don't even know how they take feedback. So it's important that we don't give feedback in a way that goes and scars people for life, because you never know what people are dealing with. Now, I also want to just give like a side hint to my fellow HR professionals that are also going to be listening to me, because I realize that Isaac Works is a compendium of all kinds of people from all walks of life. And HR professionals that are supporting Isaac Works, kudos to you. All of you that continue to share the verified jobs with us, all our hate recruiters, we are grateful for you. Thank you. Please keep the jobs coming, both within Nigeria and outside. Thank you so much for all of the job JDs you've been sending, all of the JDs you've been sending for us to, find the right people that you need. For the HR professionals, right? It's important that please let's try to build a way that we can give people feedback, because that helps them prepare for the next role that they're going to encounter. I would appreciate if we can make it detailed. And I know that we receive a lot of applications and all of those things. So it can be almost impossible. But at least people that get to like the final stage, semi-final stage, let's also see how we can always send them feedback so that they can, go back and apply it and find a way to be better. Now, to our job applicants within Isaac Works, here's what I want to share. Each stage of this recruitment process, right? Remember, it is a social evaluation. That is, you sit on your desk, whether in person or you go to an office that's in person, or you'd have like a Zoom or a Google interview. They are evaluating you based on what they can see. The people that are recruiting, they don't know you. They've never seen you. Even if someone tells you that they will give in a good word, they know the HR, they know the recruiter, they would speak to them. They don't worry. They have a way to convince them. They still don't know you. So it is important that when you go for these sessions, how are you presenting your answers to the interview questions? What's your tone? How are you selling yourself? Because a job interview, you are selling yourself. How do you dress to that interview? We're going to have different sessions, so don't worry, we're going to break it down. We're going to have all kinds of sessions, but how do you present yourself? What behaviors are you showing? Do you come on the interview and you're touching your head? You turn, you are shaking. What are you doing? When you go for the one-on-one interview, how do you dress? When you go there, do they mistake you to be who you are not because of the way you have presented yourself? All of these things are important. So it's not just saying, I applied. Also, when you're applying, how did you send that email? Did you just say, they just told you they need this, you just copy, just attach your CV to the email and you just sent it? No, dear HR. I don't know why, sometimes when you're also applying, you say, dear sir, madam, thank you. Some people even go as far as praying. You don't need to do all of those things. Just be professional. I've seen all kinds of job applications. Some will send and be threatening the HR, you must give me the job. Like, how do you think that when you threaten the HR in an email, that will compel them to give you the job? I've seen all kinds of things. Say, as I'm sending it, you must give me this job now. Someone told me, I need a job. You must give me the job. I'm like, I don't have the job to give to you. You have to do the application. You will do it yourself. How are you applying? How are you presenting when you submit your CV? That first email, what did you write? How did you salute the HR person? And then when some people too, when they get far in the interview and they get a rejection, they send stinkers. They will type out a stinker. I'm like, the world is big, yet it's very small. The person you send the stinker to today might be on a board of something that you need an approval for that you may never know, but they never forgot your name. And then when you apply for that thing, the person you send the stinker to will just look at that document, that piece of document, and be like, I know this name. Then they go on their email because stinkers, people never forget stinkers, right? And they go and verify, say, is it not this guy that or this babe that sent? They go verify and it's you, and they say no. And then people now start to cry, village people, someone is witch hunting them, this, that. Meanwhile, because they got a rejection and the feedback they got was strong, they didn't have the emotional capacity, they didn't have the confidence, their confidence compass was not pointing at east. And so they didn't have what it took to manage that difficult situation. And what came out of their mouth and as they typed was a stinker. And as a result, that stinker has now blurred every line of progress that it can have. Do you see the ripple effect of what we do? And especially in these days where social media, some companies will tell you to drop your social media handle for them to track you. Some, even if you don't drop, they will find it. You don't want to know. Let me not go there. And then they don't apply, they don't get, you don't get a job. You wonder why you didn't even get interviewed at all. You wonder why. It's because they've done some background check and you don't meet what is expected. You don't meet what is expected. So now, I've spoken all these things. How do we solve this problem? How do we build our confidence compass regardless of everything that we face? When the morning sun rises in the east, it's steady. Have you seen the sun? When the sun wants to rise, it just goes woo. It only happens in cartoons. The sun doesn't just woo, and in 10 seconds it has risen, set, and it has gone down. It doesn't work that way. That's how our confidence should be. Steady, unhurried, and undeniable. Our confidence should be that is renewed daily because, again, life happens. So we should continuously renew our minds, continue to be deeply grounded, and we need to see where we want to go clearly by the help of our compass. So I came up with, again, framework queen. I came up with a framework. And I got it when I was thinking about a bird. So for the inspiration I got was like the eagle, right? The eagle doesn't go to school, doesn't get educated, but he knows how to navigate. He knows how to sail through the tides. The eagle's wings so sharp and strong, powerful and magnificent. And it glides through and it always soars. And I thought to myself, the wings, let me look for something and, create something witty out of that. And I thought about the W.I.N.G.S framework. Here's what I came up with. Again, I'm just reinforcing what we spoke about because once we get this confidence part strong, what happens then is we are no longer intimidated by job descriptions. When we see job ads, we are not afraid. We can go for what we know we are ready for. And even the roles we think we're not ready for, that we have some of the requirements, we can try. Because I want us to try. Let's not look at roles and say, this one is 700,000. It's not my range is 50K to. No. You can try. Know that your worth is beyond your CV for W. Your intentions must be clear. about where you want to go. It's not every job we post on Isaac Works. This one is 200K, let me apply. Oh, this one is 500 million, let me apply. This one is this, apply. You've applied to everything. You know you're not qualified, you're just applying. Shebi, we are here, let's just apply. After all, last class, we're told that application is a game of, it's like sales. The more you apply, the more your chances. You just apply. No, intention. Also, you are in Isaac Works. You attend our webinars, but you are not networking, you're not commenting, you're not active, you're just there. You don't even share to others that you know that three of my friends, they are looking for work, or my secondary school or my primary alumni, people are looking for work, but they're just there enjoying all the jobs they're sending from Isaac Works. And you know that some of the jobs that are there, you don't qualify, but you are holding it. You hold it tight to your chest. You don't want to share the link. You don't want to tell anybody that there's a group where you can get jobs and you can apply. No, 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 no. You are holding it. You don't want to network. You don't want to open the doors for others to come in, because in your mind, no, I found this and I will hold it to myself. You don't want to grow. This is our second class. Some people have not watched the first video. Some people are not interested. Their own is, let me go and apply for the job. Then when they don't get, when they've applied for like 2 months, they will not come to my DM. Send me a long voice note. Type out long messages about how they're not getting jobs. But they forget that part of what we give here at Isaac Work is not just use, hey, go and apply for a job, go and apply for a job. No. We equip you with what will make you valuable when you apply, so that your application can stand out. For the G is growth. Every rejection is a growth signal. We want to rephrase rejection at Isaac Works. We want you to see rejection as a signal for you to try again. It's a growth signal and not a grave signal. It doesn't mean that you have failed. So now let's now break and open this framework thoroughly. Are you ready? Let's go. So, worth awareness. Our self-esteem is like a gauge. When we feel accepted, the gauge will be rising. So if you don't know what a gauge is, you know your fuel tank. That gauge that goes when you have full tank, the gauge that goes when you go empty tank. That's what a gauge is. Don't go too far. That's it. So, your self-esteem is like that. When you feel accepted, it goes to full tank, or depending on how the acceptance came. When you feel rejected, it goes to empty. It goes down. Now, facing the east as a compass is saying that your worth is not set by when someone today, this job says, you did well, your gauge goes up. You apply here, they say, oh, you didn't do well, your gauge goes down. Tomorrow you apply somewhere, they say, you did somewhat well, your gauge goes to the middle. So your gauge is constantly fluctuating. You are not seeing, you are not preparing, it's like you are not stable. Your worth is not set by fluctuating approval. Your worth is not set by the amount of rejection, the amount of try again, we don't have space. That's not what your weight is, your worth is based on. Your worth is based on who you are as God created you. That's what your worth is based on. So instead of waiting for those of us that are in employment right now that are planning to check out, right? Because you know that your boss does not like you, your boss doesn't care. Let me tell you what you will do to help you with your meter staying full. 1, create a worth log document. What do I mean? In your office, if your boss says, oh, that thing you did, I appreciate that. That was, as soon as he starts talking, find a way to start writing. Get a pen, something as he's talking, give you that feedback. Maybe in a meeting. What's today's date? Monday, let's say Monday 29, let's say today is Monday 29th August 2025, a time 17:49 p.m. Mr. Maduka said, I did everything he's saying, just be writing it down. When you finish, go either on your Google Doc, on your personal email, create your word log. That thing that was said, go there and go and type it. If within your organization you contributed to something, you followed people to plan a party, the party was done without any hiccups, go under your work log. The day you started that plan, the day you finished the plan, track everything. When your boss issues a query to you because you made one mistake, don't drown in the query. Go to that your what log, open it, go there and read. Oh, I did this. I'm not what my boss said. It's me that did these things. So I will not believe this one. Though he gave me feedback, yes, I'll take the feedback. What I need to correct and what I need to improve on, I'll do that. But I will not personalize that feedback and be weighed down. Why? That compass of logging your worth log, logging the activities, your contributions, the impacts you're making, it is now a valid, it's not just an external validation, but it brings clarity to who you are as an individual within an organization. The next point, we're talking about the W.I.N.G.S framework. We just talk about worth now. That is worth awareness, W. Let's go to I, inner narrative. Reframe your self-talk. This part, if you grew up in a family where you were always criticized, this will be your default way you speak to yourself. That is, if you're in a family where nothing you did was ever good enough, where you were always criticized, there was always something you needed to do to earn the love of your parents, your father and your mother. So you kept doing, growing, trying, pushing your best, but yet all you did was never ever good enough for you. Why? They constantly criticized you. So now that you're an adult, you are applying for jobs, you are seeking for opportunities, you are sending out your CVs. When you get rejected, the first thing you say, I'm not good enough. Nobody likes me. I'm not this. Hey, this one, they don't like me. That company, they hate me. This one, you are not good enough. You always mess up. You always make mistake. That's the only thing you'll be telling yourself. You will not remember that. But I did some hard things, so they needed me to do this thing, and I did not. I did it, and I did it well. You will forget all of those things. Why? Because the only thing that you continue to remember is that negative self-talk. It's a false magnet. It pulls your thoughts away from the truth, away from who you are, and away from direction. It whispers and tells you that you always mess up. It tells you that you cannot make it in life. How many people have made it in your family to continue? That's what it tells you. It reinforces your self-limiting beliefs. Now, we know what that is. How do we reframe our inner thoughts, so that our inner voice, so that the default we give to ourselves is not negativity? First, catch it. When that voice is speaking, when you start talking to yourself negatively, catch it. Catch it. And one of the ways you can do is write those thoughts out. Write down the most common negative thoughts you always say to yourself. Write it down. Because that awareness to know that, okay, this is something that I do, is step one. Next, name the distortion. Ask yourself, you see, one thing I like about this framework is that that inner narrative, right, is something where you need to do it. You have to quiet yourself. You have to self-reflect. You have to bring yourself, how would I put it? You have to quiet and still your voice to be able to self-reflect and truly walk through this process. Now, what is the next step? When you are naming the distortion, You need to be truthful because you know they say you cannot lie to yourself. You know yourself better than anybody, but you need to tell yourself the truth. That look, why is it that I don't get things done properly? Why is it that I don't follow instructions? Why is it that I don't listen when I'm told to do a thing? I like to do what is in my mind. Why? And now I get to the office, my boss says that this is exactly the way they want this thing done, but I don't listen. I do what I think is best. Why? Now, when you do that, you move to the next point. Point to the east. Remember when we said that light, the sun rises from the east, right? Instead of saying that you are not qualified, to point to the east is to say that lie, that negative self-talk, that inner voice that tells you the lie, can you rephrase it by saying things, for example, instead of saying, I'm not qualified, that's why they did not send me the email, say, I am growing, I can learn, and I can have unique value. And I can add unique value. Instead of saying, I will never make it, this company does not like me, all they want to do is to witch hunt me. Say, every no brings me closer to my next yes. That is how to point in the right direction. Now, workplace tips for reframing your inner voice. Now, daily anchors. You know, I tell people, write a sticky note and put on your laptop. People think I'm joking. It's an anchor, an emotional anchor. Write something beautiful to yourself. That's a way that you can reframe that inner voice. So that anytime someone gives you feedback in the office or you're faced with any kind of feedback or challenging time, when you just look at your laptop, because when you're applying for your jobs, most people use their laptops, I hope, you can just look at that word and it will take that negative self-talk out of you and you are back. Right? So for the W.I.N.G.S framework, we are now at N, navigating relationships, social belonging. Confidence grows in a community. Join community like Isaac Works. Learn, grow, build yourself, give feedback, share what you know, share. If you're hosting a webinar, share, teach, learn, grow. When you're invited for workplace events, go build your network. You never know who you're going to meet. Don't be secluded in your office and say, I can do all by myself. You cannot do all by yourself. You need people. You cannot do all by yourself. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. Invest in yourself. What can you invest every quarter? Ask yourself, from my salary, what can I do to improve myself, to improve my social belonging, to improve my relationships within my area of expertise? If you're a doctor, what conferences will I attend? Even if it's once in a year or twice in a year, what conferences can I attend that will align with what I want to grow into? It's very important. And then G, growth in action. Remember that we grow as we move. As you keep growing, as you keep improving, your confidence is increasing. Confidence does not fall on your head. Confidence is improved. Confidence does not fall on your head. Confidence grows. Your confidence is action oriented, not passive. As you are moving, you are improving, you are changing. As you're moving, as you take action, you're growing, you're something one fantastic teacher I know would say. He say, as you're changing whilst you're growing. You're changing whilst you're moving. I'm changing while I'm moving. You don't change and stay static, right? You are changing and you're improving. Now, I would give us an assignment. Hopefully, someone will take it. Take an uncomfortable step this week in your workplace. Just look for a problem and solve it. And when I say problem, I don't say go and start thinking about strategy. That's way out of it. If there's something that's constantly misplaced in your office, say for example, maybe the board is not always clean. Can you call the cleaner and say, oh, why is this board not always clean? What can we do to make it the brightness come out? That's something. Take an actionable step today. Let me know in our next live so that when we have a recap, you can share. And then S for the wings framework is spiritual anchor. That's your true east. True confidence is not arrogance, but it is rootedness. What are you rooted in? When one of my incredible teachers as well, he will say, when pressure comes, what comes out of you? Is it there? Do you go back to the familiar? Yeah, that's something he always says. He says, do you default back? Do you default back to the familiar? So, what is your anchor? Your confidence should be reset daily. You should reset your confidence daily. So, in summary, the W.I.N.G.S framework is your compass facing east, your confidence compass facing east to allow you build inner strength for your career and workplace, for your workplace success. The W.I.N.G.S framework, again, let's go about it, is your what awareness? That is, your gauge is anchored, not fragile. Your inner narrative means that your light replaces the lies. You are navigating relationships, that is, you are belonging to a place that fuels your boldness. Then you are growing in action, that is G, that is your progress. You're making progress daily and not just surprise, surprise. And then you are anchoring in light. Please remember that this market, job market, is not an easy one. I will not lie to us. It is important that we take it seriously. Don't come to your jobs, right, unprepared. Be prepared. For those that are still in college, I encourage you to prepare, improve your LinkedIn, volunteer, work on your CV. Please don't wait to start running the race on the race day. For those of us that are still in university, preparing to start working on yourself now, start working on your CVs now, start working on your LinkedIn now, open that LinkedIn page now. Then for those that are finding jobs that are discouraged by the rejections, don't worry, normalize it. It's normal. Or everyone that's applying to jobs, can't ask them. They'll tell you. Most people don't talk about the 1,000 rejections they get. But is that one acceptance, they will now post it on LinkedIn. But they didn't tell you the background story. So please normalize the rejection. Don't worry, it's part of the game. Then you can also have like a tracker for those rejections and the lessons. That is when you now ask for feedback. Remember what we spoke about in the beginning. When you ask for feedback, track that feedback. Track it. When you track it, add value. Add value. Remember, you remember the task I gave us, that we should look through our process and look for a way to add value. And then, please, if you have watched this video up until this time, please drop a comment, share from where you are watching this video from, share this, and also you can drop like one skill that you're working on so that we can know what it is that you're building as you're listening. Also, remember to share this video with anyone that you know will find this useful. And then you know that at the end of every video we have what we call positive affirmations. We say this over ourselves because, we're our best cheerleaders. So what do you say? I am not defined by rejection. I am refined by it. Say with me, I am not defined by rejections. I am refined by it. Say with me, every no is a redirection to my yes. Say it louder. Every no is a redirection to my yes. Say with me, I have the wings to rise into my next season. Say it louder. I have the wings to rise into my next season. Say with me, the doors of favor, clarity, and courage are opening for me. and I walk through it with ease. I hope you had a good time watching this video. I know it was quite lengthy, but there was so much to discuss and I had to go into more detail so that everyone that watches through this video, they have a holistic understanding of what it is to have the confidence compass, building our inner strength for career and workplace success, because it is that inner strength that inspires us and moves us to be everything that we need to be for the time that we are in. Until I come your way next time, thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and keep bringing your best to every corporate organization you find yourself. Remember, you are valued, you are important, and you are worthy. Until I come your way next time, all the best and cheers to your success.